My name is David Williams. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video as you get a deeper understanding of the three keys of execution. As a reminder, the three keys of execution are simplicity, visibility, and accountability. Once again, simplicity, visibility, and accountability. One of our clients that we were working with shared an amazing story with us. So this client that we were spending a significant amount of time with called us up one day, and boy, she was just ecstatic. She was over the moon and excited about what was going on. She called us up and said, you know, our team is getting some of the best results that we've ever seen before. And so as she told her story, it was interesting listening to her. As you know, she said, hey, we get it. We get simplicity, we get visibility, accountability. Boy, the teams are really driving. And we thought, wow, this is an incredible story. The more she told us the story, the excited she got. And then she kind of chuckled and said, you know, hey, I know there's ups and downs. You know, the story that you talked about, the farmer in the classroom, right? I get that, but let me just celebrate this with you for one moment over the phone. We said, knock yourself out. We'd love to hear the story. So she said, as her team embraced these concepts, simplicity, visibility, and accountability, her leadership really began to shine through. Right? So she just really focused with her team and said, this is what we need to do to drive execution. And as she got better at execution herself within her own head, simplicity, visibility, and accountability, it freed her up to be able to do more things within her own plant. And she said the more that she really embraced these concepts, and the more that she really encouraged her direct reports and then their direct reports to get a deeper understanding of these three keys, she says something miraculous began to take place. She says people started coming up to her in the plant and saying, hey, you know what? We didn't do too good on our ABCs last night. Here's the reason why, and this is what we are doing different today to make sure we do our ABCs, activities, behaviors, and commitments. That was a new behavior. She never saw that type of behavior before. People coming up to her and saying, this is the problem we had last night. We didn't do this, this, and this, but today we're changing this. We're going to do this, this instead. Right? We dropped the ball on our ABCs, but this is now what we're doing to make sure we continue doing our ABCs, activities, behaviors, and commitments. So that was a big moment for her. People were now coming to her saying, hey, here's what's going on. This is what we're going to do different. This is why we weren't successful last night. Right? And so then they said, they began going to her saying, here are the results. They began telling her why the results weren't as good as what they should have been, or why they were as good. And oh, by the way, this is what we're going to do to continuously improve. People were now coming to her. People were pushing information to her. It was no longer a pull system. Those of you who in the manufacturing world get this, she wasn't having to pull to get information. Instead, information was being pushed to her. The next thing that happened that she was really excited over the top about was that not only people were pushing information to her, people were now getting things done without her even having to ask the question. Why? Because that organization that she was in, that team that she was leading, that manufacturing plant that she was overseeing, if you will, was now getting the ABCs. Everybody understood the ABCs, the activities, behaviors, and commitments. They understood how critical those three things were in order to make sure they won the game, in order to make sure they crossed the finish line. Because if they won the game, if they crossed the finish line, they were going to win the goal. She found her work hours began to drop significantly because people were taking on more and more responsibility for their actions. Why? Simplicity, visibility, and accountability. People were excited because they were finally being held accountable. Not from a negative perspective, but they were excited because they were being held accountable from a positive perspective. They are being recognized for the awesome work that they were doing. So as we hung up the phone, we from Blaze, we had a quick phone call, and we kind of dissected what she was talking to us about. We were amazed that here was this person who kind of was pushing back on leadership. I don't know if we could really do this or not. But she said, you know, I'm going to give it a try because I mean, her facility was one of the worst, if not the worst performing facility within their organization. So she came in there with this concept. And this is so she came with the concept of the ABCs. And let me go back to her real quick. So as we were about to hang up the phone, this is what she told us. She goes, I've been very successful in my career. And she has been very successful, had been and has and is. She goes, but every other place that I went to, I was the one having to do all the work. She goes, with the ABCs, the three keys of execution, simplicity, visibility, and accountability, and the ABCs, activities, behaviors, and commitments, She goes, I've really found out for the first time what it means and what it feels like to lead a plant and not do the work all by myself. She had finally been liberated from her own way of leadership. She had discovered there was a better way. How are you leading your team as you're running this execution process, the 3 keys of execution? Are you holding them back? Are you unleashing the talent that is sitting there within your office, within your shop floor, within the confines of the 4 walls of your building? Are you truly unleashing the talent? Think about that and say, what can I do differently that's going to allow my team to get the best results they can possibly get? See, this leader understood she could get results doing it by herself, but she realized the results that she got her by working with her team were exponentially more than what she could ever achieve by doing all the work and she be the only one doing it. Thank you for watching this video from Blaze Performance Solutions. I want to encourage you to keep the journey when it comes to the 3 keys of execution: simplicity, visibility, and accountability. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful day.